Well, hello everybody. I'm trying something brand new for me anyway. It's probably old hat for a lot of people, but for the most technically unsavvy person I know, which is me, this is a voyage I'm trying to embark on to see if it'll work. So the only way to do it is to try it and see if it works. I didn't dare go live stream. I'm definitely doing recording so I can not embarrass myself in case this thing flops. So if you're seeing it, it must have worked, at least to some extent. All right, so I am in Out of the Park Baseball 25, and one of my favorite teams over the years has been the San Diego Padres. And 1989 was one of their better seasons, even though they did not make the playoffs. They had a really good team that year, challenged the Giants until the end. So I've been playing a few games of their season to start the season, and actually swept the Giants 3 games to none, first 3 games of the season in San Diego. And now they're making a trip to Houston to play the Houston Astros. And lineups for the Friday, April 7th game against the Astros. You can see what we have there for the lineups. But let's go to play the game, and you can see the lineups a lot better for both teams as they pop up. There you go. Alomar, Salazar, Gwynn, Clark, Martinez, Wynn, Santiago, Templeton, and Rasmussen for the Padres. Young, Ramirez, Hatcher, Davis, Bass, Dorn, Caminiti, Biggio, and Rhoden for the Houston Astros. So let's get this game going and see how we can do it. Now I think I need to change the view on each time I go to a new stadium. I think I got to reset the camera. We are in the Astrodome, and first, before I even get going, I do want to give a big thanks to Beatles Eternally, who patiently helped me on figuring out how to download the stadiums and the player photos and the logos and everything else. So really appreciate that, Beatles. You're a fine gentleman, and you're actually an excellent teacher, because if you could teach somebody like me how to do this, then there's hope for anybody. All right, so I'm going to check the view real quick on the pitch camera and make sure that it's what I want. So pitch camera, we're going to do, yep, center field. I think it's, let's see here. Yep. Okay, so it kept that particular one. So, all right, we're ready to go. Rick Rhoden will be facing Roberto Alomar. This is Rhoden's first start of the season. Alomar is hitting a buck 82, 2 for 11 on the season. And we'll get ready to go. Now, it normally does, when you start the game, it normally does like a sweep around the stadium. That's for outdoor stadiums. I don't know if it's going to do it for the Astrodome, but we will find out. And it will. Okay, so there you go. So Rick Rhoden will be facing Roberto Alomar. There's a line shot up the middle by Alomar, and it's going to get sneaked through for a base hit. Around that AstroTurf, and it picked up speed, and it got a base hit. So right off the bat, Roberto Alomar is aboard. Now, do we want to try to steal with Alomar? Don't know what kind of arm Biggio has necessarily. Rhoden. Let's see. With Salazar, we could hit and run. We could try to steal. You know what? I haven't stealed yet. Let's steal second and see what happens. Oh, he's going to pick me off. How about that? Isn't that some mess? Now they got him in a rundown. And Alomar is out trying to get there. So bad move there, I guess, on my part, trying to be aggressive. But hey, what the hey? Here's Luis Salazar, 1 for 4, hitting 250. Sometimes you got to take chances. Ground ball to second, and easy play as Doran throws over to Davis for out number 2. And I bring up Tony Gwynn. He's hitting 250, 3 for 12. Rhoden with the pitch to Gwynn. It's a ground ball to Davis. He will take it to the bag himself to end the inning. And I know a lot of people don't like AstroTurf, but I kind of miss the old sliding pits and the look of the AstroTurf. It's very nostalgic to me for whatever reason. I know most people hated it at the time, and I hated it at the time. But looking back on it now, it's kind of got a nostalgic feel for me. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. All right, so Dennis Rasmussen, his first start of the season, will be facing Gerald Young. Rasmussen to Young, and it's going to be a fly ball to left field and deep, but not too deep as Carmelo Martinez puts it away for out number 1. 1 down, and that'll bring up Rafael Ramirez, longtime Atlanta Brave, He's hitting 444 on the season. So he's off to a nice start for him. Ramirez will fly to right field. Salazar is there, and Gwynn is there, rather. Salazar's at third. The last game I played, Salazar was in right, so I had to make sure I knew where everybody was. So Hatcher will step in. That was Hatcher hitting 222, 2 for 9. Rasmussen with 2 outs and the bases clear. There's a little flare to right field, and Wynn will not be able to get to it, so it's going to drop in for a base hit. Remember, we got Wynn in right, Gwynn in center, so the Wynn and Gwynn connection. So Hatcher, decent speed, but you got the powerhouse Glenn Davis up there. See if the computer decides to run or not. They do, and here comes the throw to second. Not in time. Hatcher will steal second base. So even though Santiago had the good arm, he stole it off Rasmussen. Rasmussen to Davis, and that's a ground ball to third, handled by Salazar over to Clark, and the inning is over. Really like the graphics of this game, the uniforms and everything. It look really, really sharp and bring back memories. It's a lot of memories from the 80s on this. So I don't know much about the gameplay itself, about how accurate it is, systematically and whatnot, but it's just fun. So I'm enjoying it, put it that way. All right, here's Jack Clark. And that'll be a walk, which he did quite a bit in 1989. So Jack Clark will take the walk, and that'll bring up Carmelo Martinez. Martinez cracks one to center field, and that'll drop in front of Gerald Young for a base hit. Runners at first and second. Jack Clark, not that nimble, had to stop at second base. Couldn't get anywhere else. Here's Marvell Wynn. He's hitting 667, 4 out of 6. That's pretty amazing for him, but of course that's probably not going to last. So here he is. He could bunt with him, but we're getting to the bottom of the order, so he goes swing waving, and that's going to cost us. He's going to hit into a double play. 4-6-3, twin killing, 2 down. Clark will move to third base with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Benito Santiago. Santiago comes through with a base hit in the clutch. Brings in Jack Clark for the first run of the game. And the Padres jump out in front 1-0. And that'll bring up Templeton. Templeton will flare one to center. That's going to drop. And on his way to third is Santiago. He's in there with 2 outs. He had a head start from first base. He did not have to wait and see if that ball was caught. He could just roll, and that's what he did. So runners are at the corners, but unfortunately for the Padres, your pitcher is now at the plate, Rasmussen. So it doesn't look good there, although Rasmussen does get a base hit to center field. How about that? Talk about bad about him, and he hits a base hit. Rasmussen says, "Don't doubt me. Don't doubt me." 2-0 Padres. Here's Alomar. And Alomar lines one, a little humpback liner over to Doran, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Padres. And up for the Astros will be Kevin Bass. Switch hitter batting right-handed. And he sits there looking like a statue on Monument Avenue, and he takes strike 3. That'll bring up Bill Doran. Doran with the little grounder up the middle. It's going to sneak through for a base hit. I'm sorry, it's a liner. My eyes were deceiving me. It was a low liner, but it hung up, and Gwynn was able to get it. So I'm still getting used to the graphics on this and the animation, so sometimes it looks like it's a base hit. To me, it's really an out. All right, here's Caminiti. Third baseman. He's going to ground to Templeton, and that's an easy inning for Dennis Rasmussen. 3 up, 3 down go the Stros. Top of the third we go, and here is Luis Salazar against Rick Rhoden. Of course, the Astros are being managed by the AI. That's going to get sneaked past Bill Doran for a base hit. So Luis Salazar, leadoff single. That'll bring up Tony Gwynn. We're going to do a hit and run with Tony Gwynn. How about that? He's a good contact man. Ground ball is going to keep him out of the double play by doing the hit and run, so that did help. Salazar does take second. And here's Jack Clark. Clark grounds it to third. That's going to freeze the runner at second. By hitting to the left side, Salazar cannot advance. So there's two away, and it's up to Carmelo Martinez to bring Salazar home if he can. And he just might. That's a base hit to center field. They're going to see if he can score. They say Young has a cannon for an arm, but there are 2 outs, so he's got to be able to make it, right? He's running with the pitch. You would think he would make it with 2 outs. And Salazar is in there. 3-0 Padres. You had to send him with 2 outs. You figure he's going to make it. So here's Marvell Wynn. Marvell Wynn flies it out to center field. Young is there to end the inning. But Padres tack on another run, and they lead it 3-0 going to the bottom half of the third. And for the Astros, it'll be the bottom portion of their order. Hall of Famer Craig Biggio. Back when he was a catcher. Oh, he gets plunked in the back of the knee. And that probably didn't feel good. I don't think it was intentional. He just got away from Rasmussen. And now with the pitcher up, we're going to play corners in. Well, the computer's already defaulted to corners in because they're expecting the bunt. And Rhoden obliges with the bunt, but he can't put the ball in play. So we got an 0-1 count. Try it again. This time he does put it in play. Santiago's only play is to first, so the sacrifice is successful. And over to second goes Biggio with 1 away for the top of the order in Gerald Young. Gerald Forever Young. And it's going to base hit. It's going to drop in front of Gwynn. And Biggio with his good speed will score. Cuts the lead to 3-1. And Young took second on the throw. So here's Ramirez. Ground ball to short. Templeton will throw to first for the out. So even with the runner with the ball hit to second, Young with his good speed took third. So with 2 outs, he's at third for Billy Hatcher. Speaking of good speed. Hatcher. It's a pop-up into foul ground. Santiago over to the railing and will make the catch to retire the side. But the Astros do put up a run and now cut the lead to 3-1 after 3. That'll bring up Benito Santiago. Rhoden to Santiago. Fly ball to center field, and Gerald Young is there. Can of corn, 1 away for Gary Templeton. Well, just these player names are bringing back a lot of memories. Templeton flares one the opposite way. It's going to go to the wall, and he will roll into second base with a stand-up double. So Gary Templeton with a stand-up double. It's going to bring up the pitcher Rasmussen. It's already 1 out, so there's no sense in bunting. That's going to get by Biggio all the way to the backstop, and going to third is Templeton. And now the Astros infield is playing in to prevent the run. They don't want a cheap run coming in. Rasmussen could use a fly ball here. Try to get that sacrifice fly. Did get a base hit his first time up, but this time he goes down swinging more Rasmussen-like. And there's 2 away. So it's going to be up to Roberto Alomar. Needs that big 2-out single. But he stands there looking, and that's going to do it. They're going to leave Templeton at third, and the inning is over. Bottom of the fourth we go. And Rasmussen will be facing Glenn Davis. Davis with a drive to center, but Gwynn is there. 1 away. And it'll send up Kevin Bass, switch hitter, from the right side. Bass flares one to shallow right, and Marvell Wynn handles it easily. 2 up and 2 down for Rasmussen. Here's Bill Doran. He's hungry like the wolf, but I don't know if he's going to get a hit. Yes, he will. So maybe his hunger was satisfied with that base hit to center field. And now let's see. Let's throw to first, see if we can get him. Ah, can't get him. All right, let's pitch out. See if he's running. Nope, not running anywhere. Okay, we'll just pitch to Caminiti then. And now this time he does go, and it's a stolen base. Go figure. So Doran steals seconds in scoring position with 2 outs for Caminiti. And Rasmussen takes care of Caminiti to end the inning. We go to the fourth. Oh, we've completed 4 rather. It's 3-1 Padres. And now we start the 5th. Rick Rhoden to Luis Salazar. Salazar humpback liner to short. Ramirez is there, 1 away. For Tony Gwynn, who's really been struggling, 214. Much better hitter than that, obviously. And he's going to ground it to Glenn Davis, who takes it to the bag himself. 2 down. And it's going to bring up Jack Clark. Clark will ground it to Ramirez for the final out. 3 up, 3 down. Padres go quietly. We go to the bottom of the 5th. And here's Biggio. Biggio killed the radio star. And Biggio grounds one down the left field line, sneaks it past Salazar. Chasing it is Martinez, but not before Biggio has himself a stand-up, actually a sliding triple. He's in there with a triple with his speed. So that's going to put the leadoff man at third base with nobody out and the pitcher batting. So they're going to play the infield in and see what happens. They're going to play the outfield shallow. Try to prevent a sacrifice fly if possible. He strikes out Rhoden for out number 1. Now what do? Do you play the infield back or infield? I guess you got to play the infield in again. If you could do it with nobody out, you should do it otherwise. Well, actually, with the leadoff man up instead of the pitcher, they're playing back. But I'm bringing the infield in. I'm going to bring the infield back in. Might be a mistake, but we're going to do it anyway. So it's a pop-up. It doesn't really matter. It's a pop-up to the infield. And Alomar is there for 2 down, so it didn't matter where we played him. Now Rasmussen just needs to get Ramirez to get out of that leadoff triple with no damage. Ground ball to short. Templeton is there, and Rasmussen's going to do it. Despite the leadoff triple by Biggio, the Astros get nothing and like it. And we go to the 6th, 3-1 Padres. And you can see, if you look at Rhoden's numbers here, or at the bottom of the screen to the middle, he's now in yellow, so he's starting to tire a little bit. See how far they go with him. Here's Carmelo. He's going to ground it to third. Caminiti will throw to first for the out. 1 away, and that's going to send up Marvell Wynn. Wynn with a shot to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. He is now 5 of 9 on the season. Talk about a big start. Here's Santiago. Benito with the ground ball to short. Ramirez will try for the force, and that's all they get. They get the lead runner for the fielder's choice, 6-4. If you're scoring at home, you know you should be, even though it's OOTP and not cards and dice. All right, here's Templeton. Templeton with a fly to center field and deep. Young going back. It's off the wall. And that will score. That will score the... Oh, no, it won't. They're going to hold him at third base. He should have scored on that. He did score. Templeton actually took third on the throw. Okay. I was going to say he should have scored on that double. It ends up being a double with Templeton take third on the throw. Or they may have given him credit for a triple. I'm not sure. I can't really tell on this exactly how that played out. Here's Rasmussen. But it is 4-1 Padres. I do know that much. Rasmussen strikes out, and that's going to end the inning. But the Padres extend the lead to 4-1. And Rasmussen also in yellow for fatigue, but he's got a 3-run lead, so he's going to keep going. Like to get 7 innings out of him if possible. It's a ground ball to Templeton. It's a slow roller, and Templeton has no shot. Hatcher with his speed beats it out for a base hit. Official scorer will give him a base hit. We'll pitch out again to see if he's going anywhere. He is not. So let's see what happens here. Pitch to Davis. Struck him out. 1 away. Down 4-1, the computer may decide not to run. Here's Bass. Bass with a flare to right. Drops in front of Wynn. And that's going to put runners at first and second. Hatcher had to wait and make sure the ball wasn't going to be caught, so he could not go to third. And here's Bill Doran. That's a deep drive to right field, splits the outfielders. Gwynn hauls it back in, but not before. Bill Doran races all the way to third for a triple. Triple for Doran. And it cuts the lead to 4-3. And now the Padre bullpen might start to loosen. With 1 out, the infield's going to have to come in, try to prevent that tying run from scoring. Here's Caminiti. Rasmussen to Caminiti. Ground ball to short. They will freeze the runner. And that's out number 2. So now Biggio, a hot hitter. They're going to give the free pass with the pitcher coming up next. They're going to give the free pass to Biggio. And let's force the hand, see if they want to make Rhoden pinch hit. They're going to let Rhoden hit. And he grounds to third to end the inning. So probably should have pinch hit there, computer, but you didn't do it. So it's 4-3 ball game. Padres maintain the lead. Here's Alomar to start the top of the 7th. And he will get a free pass on a pitch in the dirt. Ball 4, Alomar's at first with nobody out. And here's Salazar. Salazar, a little humpback liner right over Ramirez. Is going to drop. And Alomar has to stop at second. He wasn't sure that ball was going to be caught. So first and second, nobody out for Tony Gwynn. Good spot for the Padres. And the Astros have brought in lefty Juan Augusto. And Gwynn will ground into the force play. That's going to put runners at the corners for Jack Clark. And boy, he's salivating at the thought of facing a lefty. And he's going to walk again. That's going to load the bases for Carmelo Martinez, who also hits lefties pretty well. And he takes a bases loaded walk to force in a run, 5-3. Augusto apparently not the answer for the Astros. Now he's going to face Marvell Wynn on a lefty-lefty matchup. And it gets by Biggio. That's going to score the run and take the double play out of the equation. Padres take a 6-3 lead. Second wild pitch of the game by the Astros. Now the infield's got to come in, try to choke the run off. Wynn loops it over that drawn-in infield for a base hit, and that's going to score. That's going to score Jack Clark to make it 7-3. Martinez will stop at third, but Augusto has not been the answer for the Astros. Santiago drops in a base hit to left field, makes it 8-3 Padres. Kind of surprised the AI hasn't brought in a new pitcher by now. This is Augusto's getting rocked. But they're still leaving him in there. That's a fly to right field. And Bass is there for out number 2, but damage certainly done. And actually on the play, Marvell Wynn will tag up and take third base. Well, here's the pitcher, Rasmussen. With an 8-3 lead, they'll go ahead and let him hit. He grounds to Ramirez for the force play at second to end the inning. But 4 runs give the Padres a commanding 8-3 lead as we head to the 7th inning stretch for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And we're ready to start the bottom of the 7th. Top of the order, Gerald Young is up to face Rasmussen. And that's a line shot, but right to Salazar for out number 1. I'll bring up Rafael Ramirez. Ramirez, ground ball to Templeton. Another easy play for Rasmussen, so he's cruising with this 5-run lead, even though his fatigue's getting down near the bottom. He's pitching with confidence. Here's Billy Hatcher. Hatcher grounds it to second, so they grounded to third, grounded to short, and grounded to second, all the way around the infield. And 3 up and 3 down. Top of the 8th we go. Augusto, unbelievably, is still in there. Don't get that, but that's what the AI is doing. Alomar grounds it to Caminiti for the easy out, 1 away. Maybe Augusto's just in there to take 1 for the team. Here's Salazar. And Salazar grounds it to Davis. He'll flip to Augusto Coving. 3-1 put out in the scorebook for out number 2. And here's Mr. Gwynn. Gwynn, fly to right field. Bass is there. 3 up and 3 down for Augusto in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Padres still in control, 8-3. And let's see, we may go now to the bullpen for the Padres. We're going to go to their bullpen. And they're going to bring in a right-hander. And the right-hander is going to be Mark Grant. So we're going to bring in Grant to pitch as Rasmussen goes 7 and will qualify for the win. But Mark Grant is your new pitcher. Facing Glenn Davis. Righty on righty. It's a fly to center. Gwynn is there. 1 away. And Grant has the stamina to finish the ball game. Here's the pitch to Kevin Bass, who'll turn around bat left-handed. Grounds it to Clark. Easy play, 2 down. The Padres on their way to go 4-0 to start the season. Here's Bill Doran. Doran with a little nubber in front of the plate. Santiago has to hurry, but he gets him. And that's going to do it. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 9th. Augusto's still in there, unbelievably. And he's going to face Jack Clark. Clark with a deep drive to center field. And that ball is gone. It's out of here. Jack Clark with a shot to dead center field, 432 feet. And the Padres lead it 9-3. And Augusto not pitching with much gusto. Here's Martinez. Swing and a miss for out number 1. That'll bring up Marvell Wynn. Lefty on lefty matchup. Not that it matters this late in the game. Humpback liner right to Ramirez for out number 2. And Benito El Duce Santiago 2 for 4 in the game. Swing and a miss struck him out, and that's the inning. But the Padres take a 9-3 lead into the 9th as Mark Grant looking to wrap it up. Here's Caminiti. Caminiti, opposite field, deep drive to left, and that ball is gone. Ken Caminiti, opposite field. Might have had a few steroids involved there, but he gets the solo homer. It's 9-4. Solo homers don't beat you. 3-run homers beat you. So it's just 9-4, and they'll leave Grant in there. Ground ball to third. Salazar over to Clark, 1 away. That'll bring up pinch hitter Terry Poole. And Poole cues 1 to third. And the ground out to first to end the or to make it 2 outs. And that was an unintentional pun about Poole cueing it. I don't know where that came from. Here's Gerald Young. Last chance for the Stros. Young will lace 1 to right field, but Marvell Wynn in his tracks makes the catch. And there's your ball game. The Padres win it by the score of 9-4. 9 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Padres. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Astros. Winning pitcher Dennis Rasmussen. Losing pitcher is Rick Rhoden. So let's go to the box score and the wrap-up. See, the Padres are now 4-0. Astros dropped to 2-2. Looking at the box score, Martinez 2 for 4, Wynn 2 for 5, Santiago 2 for 5, and Salazar 2 for 5. As they pound out 14 hits off of Astros pitching. Rasmussen goes 7 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, and threw 105 pitches. And Grant 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, and which was the home run to Caminiti, but that was it. So they give the player game to Jack Clark. That's what the computer has decided. Jack Clark gets the player of the game. He scored 3 runs. He walked several times, and of course he had the big home run late in the game. But that's going to do it. Maiden voyage, trying to OBS the OOTP game, and that's what I got. So we leave the game, and we finish up for today. Review the lineups, and if we want to, could get ready to play another game, but let's see what we've got here. Does it give, let's see, team schedule? No, I don't want that. Where is, I don't see where you can get the standings. I guess there's something on here, though, that gets you the standings. I just don't know. It's probably right in front of me. I just don't see it. I don't, at this point, it doesn't really matter. That's going to do it from here. So I hope it came through okay. If you're watching this, then that means I deemed it that it came through okay. And maybe if this does okay, maybe I'll venture into the live stream of this one of these days and see if I can make that work. But again, big thanks to Beatles Eternally for helping me get this game all set up, not just on the OBS. I'm just talking about the game in general, with the ballparks, the player photos, and the team logos, to get them all put into the file so they all just pop right up and everything's ready to go. So big shout out to Beatles. Thank you very much, sir. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.